Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody.
Morning.
On the show today, you know when you've got a bucket list item and you finally get to do it and then it turns out to be so disappointing?
Yeah.
Going to hear a heap of those stories.
Oh, they were really good, actually. I did enjoy them.
We're not only talking about buckets, we're also talking about tumblers and ladles.
Yes, they get a run at some stage.
Our boss is really happy about that chat.
What else did we do? Can't remember.
What do you mean, Sean? We had so many other great chats.
Oh, we talked about Novak Djokovic, actually.
principles.
And principles.
Turns out there are a lot of people living by certain principles.
There he is.
And also Clive v. Mark.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Battle of the century.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
I'm not a person that has created a bucket list.
No.
And I would like
yeah.
to be that person, even though I think that you're dancing around the idea of death too much. I think once you create a bucket list, suddenly someone's going to say, "Oh, okay, he's got one ready. Let's tell him that he's going to die."
Final
So I'd rather
destination
not
turns
tempt-
up.
Yeah, I'd rather not tempt fate.
Because if
I
you
would
finish
love
the
to go.
list, then what?
I'd love to go to the Monaco Grand Prix. I reckon that'd be
Okay.
absolutely ridiculous, right? That'll be off the hook, just hanging out one of those boats.
But only if you've got the money to be on that boat.
Yeah, but you're talking about the entire Grand Prix experience. Like, look, you go on there on your budget, you're going to have so much fun. You're talking about...
you're making some phone calls.
You're talking about the Justin Bieber experience.
Okay. Well, I'd go to Royal Ascot.
General admission.
Because you can just go to Royal Ascot.
Yes.
And, of course, the Super Bowl, Nath, which is just on.
Well, an Australian girl, Tiffany, she had on her bucket list to go to the Super Bowl, right? So she is she's a diehard Bengals fan, so obviously it wasn't a good day for her. But also one of the reasons why she wanted to see the halftime show in full-fledged. So, of course, like you said, it'd be great to go and get Rebel Wilson's tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
Because she's right at the front or in a box.
Yes.
She had normal tickets, so she was up
Oh,
at
poor Tiffany.
the nosebleed
Nosebleeds.
section.
I think it's over $6,000 that they were paying for the nosebleed section.
Yeah.
Mate.
Anyway, she was left from her bucket list item bitterly disappointed because she said that you could not hear anything during the Super Bowl show. She said the normal music that they were just pumping out through
their own speakers
was brilliant. The speakers were amazing. Then once the Super Bowl halftime show was on, it was so muffled. Everyone around
So
her
far
couldn't
away.
hear it. And it was like, and then she was confused because she's like, wait, they could put it through these speakers so we could all hear it.
They only care about the millions of people watching on TV,
which
obviously.
is really
Because on
interesting.
TV, it's a spectacle. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's weird that if you're there in the nosebleed sections, you can't really hear it or see it.
Here is Tiffany on her TikTok. That's what she's hearing.
So that's mostly the crowd.
That's the music.
Kind of disappointing. Can't really hear anything. Hope you guys enjoyed the halftime show. We heard none of it. I paid a ton of money for this.
Joking?
Now, this is the music coming through the normal speakers. Just normal music.
I didn't hear any in the halftime show.
So that stadium was up to around $5 billion.
And it's brand new.
Just think about how good our stadium right is. And we've all heard the music there. Halftime at the grand final was amazing. $1.5 billion, and that was with train lines and all that. $5 billion. You should be able to hear Eminem in your head somewhere. There we go.
Like
I
now.
can.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God,
this
I'm right
studio-
there.
How much does this studio cost?
This studio's we're due for a revamp in the next 50 years, apparently. But this is what it should sound like.
Yeah, it should.
That's not good.
Yeah.
It's disappointing the amount of money that she spent on that.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
of course, travel and, accommodation, all the rest of it, that's a big exercise.
Just because you really want to do something doesn't mean when you do it,
No.
it actually turns out to be really good. I remember when we went skydiving, and it wasn't something that I really, really was burning to do, but I thought, okay, well, I wouldn't mind doing skydiving. We were excited to do it. No one had ever discussed, even though it's obvious, how windy it was going down. No, and I get it now. But no one ever talked about it. It's very windy.
Yeah, I
and
got that too.
Because when you jump out of the plane, between that point and when they open the chute, you are plummeting to your death at terminal velocity.
Yeah. There's
Yes.
spit going everywhere. Your face
cheeks
is
are
wrapped around the top
flapping
of
all
the
over
helmet.
the place, and they're videotaping it and put it in slow-mo. It's awful.
You know what I found when they opened the chute and they were talking to you, and then it was like it's all over. You've made it,
Yes,
but
you're
you're
just
still a
drifting
cane a
down.
bit.
Can I
You're a
just
cane in the air,
say,
mate. I've never made
can I
nothing.
just say that's like, when they open the chute, right? And this
Yeah.
is another thing people don't talk about. You're suddenly in a very intimate, quiet situation.
You are.
with
Strapped to
somebody
a man.
with a man wrapped around you, and then you've got small talk. Oh yeah, see that house over there? As he's like spooning you, and it's like I don't even remember your name.
And you're the little,
little spoon. Like, that's another thing people don't talk about either.
Ready to hit the road this summer? It's time to What If It.
Visit whatif.com to plan and book your accommodation, flights, activities, even car hire.
Plus, select hotels are fully refundable. Booking cancellation windows apply. What if it's Aussie for travel? Check government advisories before booking and travelling.
We are talking about when you ticked off an item on your bucket list,
Yep.
and you were like, "Oh, wasn't so great."
Yeah, Tiffany went and saw the Super Bowl. Wanted to do it for ages. See the halftime show. Couldn't hear it. It was right there.
Lee's in Port Kennedy. Hello.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hello, wonderful, Lee.
Lee. What was on the bucket list that didn't live up to expectations?
My sister and I went and did a combined 40th birthday in Cairo, and we did a balloon ride over the Valley of the Kings, and it was. No.
Oh.
It was something we'd always wanted to do, and it was an hour ride, 5 minutes up in the air. It was that hot, and we were that bored that we wanted to jump out of the balloon.
And you're like, "We've
Straight
got
into a pyramid.
55 more minutes of this." Like, was it not, amazing flying through that ancient landscape?
Well, that was the first 3 minutes. Then the other 2 minutes, we whined about how hot it was and how bored we were. And then we just looked around in the balloon with everybody else, and we were like, "It is so hot here."
Were they having
It was like something like 45 degrees in the morning.
And then you've got the balloon fire, the
Yes.
balloon engine blasting as well.
Right next to you.
Were the other people as bored as you, Lee, when you were looking around? It was just a couple of Aussies that were just not digging it.
No, it was all of us. We took a poll.
Hey, you know what? I've been told because you just see these adventure movies about
Yes.
the pyramids and all that sort of stuff. And think, oh my god, I'm going to look dressed like Indiana Jones and go there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's so commercialized and it's so quick. It's so close to the to all the
Cairo,
commercialized
yes.
stuff that I think it's the Sphinx. The best spot to view the Sphinx is from the KFC dine-in area. Like, that is literally the best place that you can go to get a view of the Sphinx. Is that not something really sad about that?
No, you'd have a bucket at the same time. I
Exactly.
mean, what's not to love about that?
Oh, mate, if they got the same nugget deal as we've got here,
Hannah's in Brookdale. Hello.
Hey, how you going?
Good, Hannah.
Hannah, what was the bucket list item that was a bit disappointing?
So me and my husband went on a holiday over in the Gold Coast, and we booked to do one of the glowworm tours. Like, we've seen pictures online and stuff, so they're like worms that light up in the dark.
On the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it was like an hour's drive out of the Gold Coast.
Okay,
Oh, I
all
never
right.
thought just hanging around like Shooters or Melba's or one of those nightclubs. I mean, there's a Spearmint Rhino just down the road.
Yeah. So glowworms. Yeah.
We booked with a travel agent. Everything was all good. The bus comes and picks us up from the hotel, and within like 5-10 minutes, we realised we've been put on the Mandarin speaking tour. And obviously, neither of us know how to speak Mandarin. So we had no idea what was going on. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and we're driving up the side of like a cliff in pitch black, doing 100 kilometres per hour on a single road. Literally like the most erratic driver I've ever seen in my entire life. But obviously couldn't understand anything he was telling any of us because we don't speak Mandarin.
Yes.
And then we got there and didn't even see any glowworms.
No, because Natalie just pulled
Yes,
it up on the
that
World
looked
Wide
good.
Web.
Yes, the glowworm
Look at
caves.
this
Yeah,
song.
it looks amazing.
It looks like something from Avatar. It looks beautiful. You saw none of that.
Yeah, no. So I don't know if...
And maybe they'd explained why you couldn't see it, but you didn't understand.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? But
Oh my God,
didn't
no.
have a clue.
No,
That's very
You know what? If you
disappointing.
go on a tour like that, I know that. No, glowworms. I want to guarantee to see a glowworm. I understand whales.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You might
get
not
it
see a
sharp.
whale.
Yes.
Glowworms. You go there and check the night
Because
before.
where
to
else
see
are
if
they
they're there.
going? Do you know what I mean? They live in caves. Where else would they be?
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We are talking about bucket list items that when you finally got around to doing, you went, that's not
disappointing.
That good. Yeah, it's off a girl, Australian chick that finally got to go to the Super Bowl. She's a big Bengals
A great
fan.
expense.
But she really wanted to see the halftime show. And when she was there, couldn't even hear
No.
the show happening at all. It was
It's
unbelievable.
so strange.
Yeah, it's so
it's
strange.
a lot of cost, no.
Kate's in Darch. Hi, Kate.
Hi guys, how are you?
Wonderful,
Okay,
Kate.
So, bucket list item, what was it?
Oh, well, we decided to go shark cage diving in South Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, we thought that would be a great idea, but no one sort of told us about the boat trip that you have to go on to get out to see the sharks.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I thought I was going to die. We had the kids with us as well. The boat was just literally rocking. The windows on the side were submerging. We were rocking so badly.
Kidding me?
I worked out where all the exits were, where the life jackets were. I would not let the kids leave my side. I felt so sick. And then by the time we got there, I could not get up off the floor. I couldn't get into my wetsuit, and it took me so long that by the time I did get in the water, the sharks had gone. They're like,
I was like, I'm not waiting around for her.
I've got no time for this.
and you don't get your money back if you don't see anything.
Yes.
So complete waste of money from me. And then when we get back to harbour, the captain of the boat goes, yeah, probably shouldn't have gone out today in hindsight.
Oh, wow.
So it's not always that rough.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
I felt so sick. It was just... And there were people that didn't even get in the water. Like, they could not get up off the floor of the boat. And they were from all over the world. And they paid this money. And
So with the
I was
cage
like,
into the water, see, that would have been going all over the place. It would have been hard with the swell to try to get in there. Like, you wouldn't have felt safe because you take a wrong step, you're in the drink.
I know. Once we stopped, it wasn't too bad. But, yeah, the trip out there, oh, my God.
No one tells you.
Live and learn.
Whenever you see Instagram of people doing something, no
Yes.
one tells you of how it is to get there.
Yes. Thanks, Kate. Brooke's in Spearwood. Hello.
Hey, how you going?
Hey,
Brooke.
Brookie.
Okay, what was your bucket list item that did not live up to expectations?
So we went to the Bahamas for our honeymoon, and I really wanted to go see the swim with the pigs.
Pigs, yes.
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
So, and my husband was just like, did not want to go 100%. He was like, we're not swimming with feral pigs. But I made him take me. So we got there, and then we were having a selfie with one of the pigs, and it bit my husband's arm.
He won't swim with feral pigs, but he'll drink with them.
He was so mad at me. And then the really big pig, the guy was like, oh, just like don't run away if it comes charging for you. And I was like, oh, okay.
Don't run away.
They're really aggressive. So he was like, just stay still. And it came like right up to me and put its like fat foot on my foot. And as it spun off, like as it went to walk away, because he was just like, just stay still, don't move. It ripped all my toe, like my big toenail off the foot.
Oh. He just he popped his little trotter on your foot and then spun around on it and walked off in a huff.
Yeah. And the guy was like, just don't move. And I was like, oh my God, he's on my foot. And then my whole foot was bleeding. My husband's got a bite to the arm.
You know what? Because I've heard,
great.
I've seen this.
I've seen
no
it
one
on The
has
Bachelor.
ever talked about them being aggressive.
Yes.
And water pigs, you'd think, would be having a great time.
Yeah,
You would think water pigs
But
would.
they just left them there and let them fend for themselves as a
Brooke.
bit of a tourist attraction. You're going, maybe they are a
Oh
bit
my
bitter
God,
at humans.
Brooke, does one have to take a tetanus shot or something when one's bitten by a water pig?
Oh, yeah, I said to the tour guide, so does my husband have rabies now, or, like, what's the go? And he was like, no, he'll be right.
He'll be
As
right.
soon as we got home to Perth, I was like, right, you're getting tested, you're not coming near me.
He turned into a pig man.
Nothing.
What was the cost for that, by the way?
So I think it was about $400 per person.
To get bitten and your foot ripped apart
My favourite
by a
part
wild
is
pig.
if it charges at your ankle, is just stand there.
Yeah, exactly. And like when we had to sign the form to go on the flight, it was like, if this plane crashes, you can't like sue us for death or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to die on this plane, first of all. But we didn't die, but yeah, my husband.
But it's fine. If the plane crashes, the pigs eat your bodies.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
No trace off your left.
Thanks, Brooke.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
Well, we saw that Novak Djokovic spoke for the very first time to a BBC reporter over in Europe. I believe it was, obviously in the UK somewhere along the lines. But he was talking about where he sits on the vaccination. And as we've been kind of discussing, and there has been talk about this, that he is buckled and he is going to change.
His biographer.
Yep. And he will get vaccinated because he wants to chase Rafael Nadal and be the greatest player in statistics that's ever played the game. Won the most amount of Grand Slams. And he could easily win 23, 24, that kind of thing. He's totally gone against what we've heard in the media over the last a week or so, and it's been very, very interesting. And here is Novak on some of the interview that happened last night. You might have seen it, but he was very strong on his principles.
Based on all the informations that I got, I decided not to take the vaccine as of today.
As of today?
Yes. But I've always supported the freedom to choose what you put into your body. And me as an elite professional athlete, I've always carefully reviewed everything that comes in from the supplements, food, the water that I drink or sports drinks.
Are you prepared to forego the chance to be the greatest player that ever picked up a racket?
Yes.
Boom, just like that, on principle.
Now, there's a couple of things I want to unpack here.
Yes.
So the first thing is the informations that he's been given.
Yes.
Like for me, I just think, so I believe personally the informations that I've been given from the World Health Organization and stuff. But yet I know that some people that are against the vaccine are believing the informations that they've been given from other medical people.
You could find information to support your position, regardless of what it is.
None of us are scientists, so both camps are only believing somebody else.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean?
Yes.
So I get that. Like, I get
But
the
believing
fact
the scientists is probably a strong position to
yes,
start
but there
with.
are other scientists that are coming off the back of it and saying the opposite. So it's just whatever camp you're choosing to believe.
Yes.
But none of us can say for sure because none of us are actually scientists.
You
We're
know
not
what?
in a lab.
I know, but yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, but there are the overwhelming majority of scientists are saying.
Like I said, I believe in the vaccine. I think that we need to get it done. The other thing I want to talk about with him is that I sort of respect his stance now.
Can I tell you something on that? When he says, as a professional athlete, I don't want to put that in my body. What about all the other professional athletes? It's sort of like saying he's better than every other professional athlete who has had the jab. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Nat, I think
like there's an arrogance to that.
I don't know if you can draw a bow.
I used to think that, but when I saw the whole interview when I saw it, and I thought there's still a bit of that in me, but then I think if you were trying to fight the mandates and the exemptions for you to play the game, then that's one thing. But he's now saying, if I can't get that title, I can't get that title. That's the thing that I'm going to have to wear. I respect that.
Yeah, Nathan. I don't mind that. I think it's a bit of a long. You can point that out, but you can do that in anyone's conversation.
Yeah, but that's because the assertion is that Rafa, for example, who is an extremely professional athlete, that he got it, so therefore he's not as professional as me.
Well, that's an assertion you're making.
Yeah, I know, but that's because when you listen to what he's saying, that's essentially what he's saying. Because I'm a super professional athlete, I don't want to put anything in my body. You are making that assumption. Everybody else is not as professional as him.
I didn't view it that way. I viewed it in the fact that he's talking about that, but I know he's putting a lot of other stuff that's scientifically or unscientifically proven into his body to keep it at the optimum level.
Yes.
And there would be as many scientists, getting back to what Nathan was saying, that would disagree with whatever protein sources he's using, whatever creatine he's doing, L-carnitine.
All legal stuff, by the way.
All the legal stuff, but
pushing the edge of sports science.
So, anyway, each their own. And whilst he's happy to stay out of it, because he's built his life on principles, as he's saying at this particular time, will he regret it? Will he regret it?
I mean, look, you know, it's
in
not like
10
he's going to
years' time
starve.
when he can't play again,
Do you know
and
what
he
I
sits
mean?
back in his rocking chair and he had the chance to be the greatest player of all time
You know
in
what?
tennis, win the most
Yeah, but
amount of Grand Slam
still
titles.
nobody considers him
I
the greatest
think-
player of all
think-
time.
I think maybe
Statistically, yeah.
Look, the only way that he won't regret it, I think, is in 10 or 20 years if we all start growing gills.
But, I mean, that would make us great swimmers, Nathan. That's a
Oh, yeah,
great
exactly.
thing.
Or like tails start sprouting out, or you know what I mean? And then he goes, ha ha, see?
I think we're pretty safe.
But look, I've never been a person that, well, I know I've got principles, I just don't know what they are. I think my principles are all petty. Like,
Pettier the better.
I stick my boots in like, to stuff, you know what I mean? I
Mm.
won't budge on some things. I mean, one principle, I suppose, that isn't petty. I won't eat Nutella because it kills orangutans.
There you go. The palm oil. He's right. Like any product that has palm oil. It's not just Nutella, but yes, kills the orangutan.
Oh, see, no. I don't know what other things have palm oil. I've just blamed Nutella. So I could be dripping in palm oil and I wouldn't like.
I'm not going to touch
But for some
Nutella.
reason, I blame Nutella.
Okay, so that's a pretty hardcore principle.
Yeah. Harry, you've got very high principles, don't you? At a share house right now.
With four men in a share house.
We do. There's been a wok soaking in the sink for the past week. I've been looking at it going, no way.
On principle, it's not yours, Harry.
I'm not touching it.
Mum and Dad said, we're not cleaning up after you kids, so I'm doing that to my kids, my share.
Yes.
Last night, well, we thought it was Driz. Driz last night posted in the group chat and said, whose wok is this been soaking here for the past week? So it could be Nick's. Mm-hmm. Certainly not mine.
Well, it's Nick then.
It's obviously Nick.
Well, Nick denied it last night.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's four of you. Who's the fourth then?
Eddie.
Was Eddie then?
No, Eddie doesn't use the wok.
Yeah. So
He doesn't watch the
This
wok,
is
that's for sure.
an open case.
So on principle, you will not wash that.
No way.
So that's going to stay there
Sooner
for
or
a while.
later, someone's going to cave in.
It's moved from the sink to the side of the sink to the bench to the stove top back into the sink.
You need to start putting it in people's beds.
Yeah, I think so.
It won't be washed until somebody needs to use the wok again.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
We're talking about principles. Now, we know that Novak has, said, I don't care if I don't play for the next year or two. I'm not getting the jab.
Unbelievable.
So he's
stuff.
standing on his principles.
Yeah. Well, everyone around the world was thinking he'd cave in, but no, he's man of his. I just discovered that you're a woman of your principle, Nat. I just offered you if you're going to have a plant-based beef burger.
And I said, no, Dad's a beef farmer. That's not happening.
Okay.
I want to stay in the will. Thanks very much.
And also, don't you think as well those plant-based burgers, just in case you like it, because they're always like,
that's right.
and they're always like $4 more expensive than the real meat. It's like,
Why?
You're not killing anything.
We want to hear if you're
No
a very
blubbing your
principled
dog, mate.
person in a particular area. Lara's in Rolling Stone. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Lara.
You stand on your principles, Lara. What are they?
If you put your clothes into dirty washing inside out, then that's how they stay. I'm not going to waste my time putting them the normal way to hang them up for you.
Oh, right. So if something's washed inside out, that's how it's going to
it
dry.
stays.
That's
Forever.
how it's going to be folded.
Absolutely. It really grinds my gears.
Yeah. No. By principle, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? It's the least they could do.
Here's a controversial opinion. I often hang things out inside out because it's less likely that if I leave them out there for days on end that they're going to fade.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
a sun damage thing.
Yeah.
But are you putting stuff on an outside line, Lara?
Yeah, but under the patio.
Under the patio.
Okay.
Yeah. The dogs will eat it if it's outside.
Yeah.
Okay. You should start feeding
Lara,
your dogs.
You've stuck to your principle the whole way through. You haven't wavered at all.
Nah.
And also,
No, absolutely not. Especially socks, because they're always full of sand and stuff.
Yes.
It's also forcing the person that's washing the clothes to touch the dirtiest part of the garment,
sure.
which is the part that's been against your gross body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
No, picking up what you're putting
All right.
down.
You stick
Good
to your principles, Lara.
We're going to go to Cardinia to see what Kate's principles are all about. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Hi, Kate.
Kate.
You
Lay
sound
it
like
down
a
for us.
very principled woman.
So I said no matter how many kids that I had, that there is no way that I would ever drive a Kia Carnival.
Very specific principle.
Well, that's a big family van, yeah.
It was, and I am on the side of the road calling you from my Kia Carnival.
Now, can you tell us now, because you were so against the Kia Carnival, now being a woman that owns a Kia Carnival, do you love the Kia Carnival?
Look, just between you and I'm a little bit obsessed with it now.
Well, you got the sliding door and you can fit so many people in, Kate.
How many kids did you end up having, Kate, that made this happen?
I ended up having 3 boys.
Yes.
Yep.
And now I sit here and I pick them up from school and I can stay in the driver's seat and push the buttons and all the doors open. And and the kids, like my kids' friends, think that it's the coolest car ever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your kids' friends do, but I'm guessing with your circle of friends and other adults, you're always defending being an owner of a Kia Carnival.
A little bit.
You would
Well, at the start I was, but now I embrace it. So now I've got a big Cardi Bus sticker on the back of my car because I live in Virginia.
Yes.
And,
It's Kate in the Cardi Bus.
Yeah, in the Cardi Bus. And now when we drive up places, sometimes we have the music up, like the Venga bus is coming.
Yes, yes.
Of the Venga bus.
You know
You
what?
can't do that in a sedan. It doesn't work.
Kate is pedaling
Well, no, you
as fast
can't.
as she can to get people on board, isn't she? Hey, bro, look how much fun we're having
Look,
in the
it's the
van.
Cardi Bus. The Cardi Bus is here.
There was that movie with John Travolta and Danny DeVito that they always talked about the Cadillac of minivans. Do you remember that movie?
Oh,
Don't worry, Kate, we don't remember it either.
Yeah.
I think Sean might have dreamt that one.
I am on board. I'm on board.
Yeah, you just want to hear this
And I
song.
love that you were
Carnival.
very principled but caved and lived to see the other side.
I've been
I
told
did.
by a few
I did.
people that always said that they were never going to do a van. Once they
Yes.
start their van lives, they realise that it's just
A
amazing.
freedom machine.
Yeah.
it's just amazing. Yeah, I can do IKEA trips and
Oh.
don't even need a trailer.
Don't need a
It's
trailer?
amazing.
Magical.
Look at it go.
Kia Carnival.
Thanks, Kate. There you go.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
We are talking about principles.
Yep.
Not of your primary school. No, we're talking about the principles you live your life by.
Yeah.
Well, we know because Novak Djokovic decided he will not go ahead and get vaccinated at this point in time. Happy to give up, Nathan,
Yep.
the chance of being
Statistically.
the world's greatest ever tennis player.
Natalie and I, it just dawned on us that we share the same principle.
Yes,
and
we
it's
do.
because lately everybody that I know, including Sean, Amy and Harry were just talking about it then. My dad's been going about it.
He has. Brian
Johnny's
loves it.
been going on about it. They said, this is the best show ever. You've got to watch Ozark.
We can't.
We cannot watch Ozark.
And the reason is Jason Bateman.
We had a terrible interview once with Jason Bateman for the terrible, terrible, terrible film Couples Retreat.
Now, that
in
was
which he
13 years ago.
He should have, and for making us watch Couples Retreat, he should have come to us with hat in hand.
And we were
On his knees begging for an interview because it was such a crap film.
we were massive fans
Oh,
as
we
well
were
because
such
we
big
loved
fans.
Arrested
And
Development
also
so much.
Teen Wolf 2.
But,
Teen Wolf 2.
That didn't do it for me.
Oh,
but,
so we were just like, oh my God, we love this and we love this about this.
And he
we
gave
said
us
it all up, and he
nothing.
gave us nothing. And it's like, you can act interested, mate, because you can act.
although we
not
just watched
well in Couples
Retreat. Not convinced.
Anyway, so since then, we've been off Jason Bateman.
So we can't watch Ozark.
And Ozark, everyone says it's amazing, but I just can't do it on principle.
I think you'll ban because you've got to watch everything. You've got to be across.
Oh, Sean, it's hard for me. To know there's a series out there that I'm not seeing. It's hard. It's hard. It goes against everything I stand for, but it's principles, mate. Principles.
You've got a principle. We want to know if you're living your life by a certain principle as well. Isaiah's in Maroona. Hello.
How you going, guys?
Good
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Okay. What's the principle?
Oh, look, it's a bit of a weird one, but I can't, leave anything uneven, just in, everyday life. So everything has to be, 2s or 4s. So, let's say if I step on, 3 tiles, I probably won't be very happy with it. I'll try and find a 4th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because then you won't feel like you're done, will it?
It always feels like an unfinished job.
Yeah,
I don't know,
right.
it's weird.
So this is TV volume, yes?
Yeah, I don't even know myself. It's just weird.
Would you ever just have one egg?
Nah, probably not.
What about 1.5 sandwiches?
6, I reckon.
Six eggs.
6 eggs.
1.5
Even
sandwiches,
number.
Sean.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have 1.5
Who would have
sandwiches.
1.5 sandwiches?
Yeah,
What do you
exactly.
do with the other half?
Well, maybe you're not hungry. You just need another half. It happens all the
Yeah,
time.
but what happens
mate.
with the other half?
He does have people in his family who might eat it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Isaiah, it sounds,
Rubbing
you know
it in our
what?
face.
It sounds like a difficult life.
Yes.
Sounds like a potentially expensive life.
I know, but also well balanced and even.
Well
so,
balanced.
you've got that going for
Yeah,
you. Thanks,
yeah.
buddy. Jackie's in Bustleton. Hello.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey,
Hi,
good
Jack.
Jack, what's the principle you're living your life by?
It's a little bit strange, but my husband and I have a bit of a team principle together.
Yep.
And I don't want to offend anyone. We have a category in our marriage called divorce shoes. So if any of us wear or buy or come into our house a pair of New Balance, Jesus sandals with socks or without socks, Crocs or Skechers, it's immediate divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
You've
given
drawn
up.
a line in the sand.
New
Balance. New Balance are actually really good shoes.
They're actually back in fashion, Jackie, aren't they?
New Balance.
I know, and we're just mortified.
I understand Crocs, all right. So yeah,
And the
I get it.
sandals.
Yes.
Yeah, and what sort of sandal? Any sandal?
More, the old Jesus sandal that
Yes.
Yeah.
with the Velcro and the
Yeah. Will you allow a Birkenstock?
no.
And no
Once
Skechers
again,
either, Nathan.
beast
No
talk.
But
Skechers.
it's a hard no in our household, and more New Balance. I reckon. You know the old white leather with the blue with the jeans,
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
New Balance.
yeah.
No,
Right,
so
okay.
immediate divorce in our household.
Okay.
We're
Jackie, I love my Yeezy slides. Would you allow a Yeezy slide?
Oh, my husband's a shoe nut, so I think maybe Yeezy slides might cruise on in.
But they're as
Well,
ugly as Crocs.
Nathan wore them with
They
socks.
are, I think
They're
they're
so
hideous,
comfortable.
Yes, but sorry, Nathan.
Yeah. No. I know what they look like.
Jackie's breaking
But I
up.
mean, the comfort thing is the
Like
argument for
they're
Crocs too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, but I
Yeah.
like the appearance of the Yeezys. I don't like the appearance of the Crocs. But I do know that why people think they're ugly.
Oh yeah, no, that's just because they've got eyes.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
WA all-rounder Ashton Agar played for the Aussies last night in the T20 games against Sri Lanka, and he opened the batting. Now, Ashton always normally comes in about, 5th or 6th position in the batting lineup, Nath, because, he's mainly a bowler.
Yeah.
But, opened the batting
Smack around.
last night. He made 13 off 13, which it's not super good, but I just want to know what was going through his mind when he got told he was going to open the batting. That'll be really interesting.
I had to open the batting with Mark McGowan during the bushfire relief fund that Greg Ryan put on, and that I have to tell you, as an opening batsman, it's terrifying.
From one opening batsman to another.
It's a daunting
experience.
process to walk out there, and I mean for him, for me, it's daunting because I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, he knew he's played the sport before, but he's never been in that position either. So, we hopefully will catch up with him in
Everyone's
the next day
looking.
or so.
Everyone's looking.
Everyone's
They are
looking.
And it's like,
Yes.
could you all just turn around for a second?
Nathan, what you wouldn't be aware of, but because the ball is brand new and no one else has hit it, it's harder because the ball's actually
why
like a
I
rock.
couldn't do it properly.
And it swings more, variation, because
That's
it's brand
what
new.
I found.
Staying with cricket, there is an article in the paper today suggesting Justin Langer could be off to Colombo and
Sri Lanka.
He could be coaching over that way and coaching the national team.
Really?
We did have a chat about this once before because a lot of people were suggesting maybe he'll coach England, but that seems to be not on his radar at this point in time. Nat, you had some inside word, perhaps.
I know nothing.
Okay, and then, but I would think the logical step for me, if I was Justin, would be to coach in the IPL. We saw the contracts given out. There's 2 new teams come into the IPL this season, so they need a coach.
Do they bid on coaches?
No, they pay you well, man.
They should bid
and
on
it's
coaches.
6 weeks. Well, you probably end up doing 10 weeks in the year.
Yeah.
Mate.
It's pretty good money
10
for 10
weeks.
weeks.
Well, give me the money.
Oh, I wouldn't think you'd get paid less than $500,000 to coach their team.
Oh, you
For
do
10
that
weeks
for
work.
10 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be all right, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'll do it. Well, being an opening batsman, I've got the experience.
Opening batsman, you got the experience. And finally, we saw Ben Simmons speak for the first time, and he was talking about his mental health battle over the last 3 months since he has not been playing in the NBA, and that was due to the pressure he got from playing in Philadelphia and the fact that he never came through under those circumstances. He didn't say he didn't come through. It was just that. People hung him out to dry. That's what he led to believe, and the whole city just, hammered in on him.
I mean, Philly fans of all sports are renowned for being fairly feral supporters. So if they turn against you, it's bad. It's worse than anywhere else.
I mean, look what happened when the Rams just won the Super Bowl. I mean, their supporters went out and tore up buses and stuff.
And that was friendly compared to Philly.
And they were like really happy.
Big time, Nathan. Everyone expected the 76ers to do well and get to the grand final for sure, but with Ben missing a few shots and not really scoring, that was out the door. But he's happy to be playing in Brooklyn. We'll see what a difference that team's he makes to that team because
Paddy Mills might be able to,
Paddy Mills is the
build him
Aussie
up a
there
bit.
that leads the way, and he's one of the Australians of the year. And hopefully he can turn him around.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
So, Mark McGowan versus Clive Palmer. Can I just say, it's so funny because at the moment they don't have to be in court.
No,
and
in
Clive
person.
Palmer has been pleading his case from his luxury yacht.
And it's like a super yacht. It's
straight
a great yacht. I love it.
Straight away, they'd have my back up.
Yeah.
I will
Well,
never.
it's meant to-
I don't think I'll ever side with the person that's talking to the judge from a super yacht. I'm sorry.
Well, Mark McGowan's
Or
talking
none
from
of
his
them.
house in Rockingham.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't seem like a
Straight
fair
away,
fight.
I think I'll go with the more Australian thing, and I'll pick the guy in the ham.
In Rocco.
It's going to be interesting how it turns out because obviously the big fella just loves litigation, and
Yes.
he's got full-time lawyers, so
Yes.
they've got to earn their dollar. He's
Yeah.
got
You
them
know
on
what- you know,
restrainer.
the lawyers are
Just
only
keep
winners
going,
out
mate.
of this. It's ridiculous.
Just keep going. He doesn't care.
And
so,
the he said. I mean, like,
they're both doing
let's
it.
put it in context. You're both in the Thunderdome. You're both
Trading
flinging
insults.
crap at each other.
Yeah.
And
Let's
you
call
know,
a nil
the
or draw and go
insinuation of
home.
taking Chinese bribes, which was an insinuation
Yes.
from Clive, to Mark saying that Clive was an enemy of Australia and WA.
Yeah.
Like, I
You
mean,
call it a nil or
come
draw,
on.
Nath? Is that what you're saying?
I just think it all sort of cancels each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah, call it nil or draw and move on.
Yeah, but Clive, this is the thing that gets me about court cases. Clive Palmer has famously said his hobby is suing people.
Yes.
So,
I mean, everyone does have to have a hobby.
I hate that you can't take that into the court case and then just have that be the basis of this.
Yes.
Like, well, okay, I know that he's suing the Premier, but this guy does
Yes.
this instead of playing badminton. We can see he
He's not
doesn't
gonna-
play badminton.
Who's paying for our court? Does Mark pay that person?
I don't know.
I
What
think
happens
Mark
there?
pays a person because this is
Well, he
a
has to.
personal
If it's-
thing.
yeah,
and we know
there's
that
two
Mark's
parts.
been looking at houses in Mount Lawley, so if he loses,
anymore.
I think you're going deeper into the ham, mate.
To be fair, he is a lawyer by training. Maybe he should defend himself.
Jeez, yeah, absolutely.
Well, and it's looking like he will have to go to
over
Sydney to
Yeah.
defend it later in the month. And I imagine that's around the time the borders will come down.
Yeah, there was.
So that he can come back.
So this is
There was
basically
word.
like Scott Morrison going to Hawaii during the bushfires. We're going to have COVID in the streets. Mark's going to be in court.
At least that's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not on a family
No, I
holiday.
know.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
I popped into the city yesterday, and
The big city?
Yeah, the big city, Sean, a thriving metropolis, which we call Perth.
Thriving?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. The city is not thriving at the
no,
moment.
Were you going to that anti-mandate protest?
No.
That was full on yesterday. I saw that when I was driving down the freeway.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing. I don't believe in anything enough to protest.
No.
about it. I was
know,
just
too
going
much
to pop in
effort.
into buy a linen shirt. Anyway, so while I was in there, I was walking down the road, and I've got a real soft spot for giving money to people that are begging on the street. I know that some people think you shouldn't do it.
Sure.
But I've got a real soft
That's
spot.
worked for me when I've sat out the front of your house.
Anyway,
Works a treat.
so it shows how Sean gets his betting money. But there was a guy there, and he asked for some change. And
Yes.
I cannot give money to people
No.
now because I don't carry a wallet.
Same. I only
Anyway,
use my
he
phone.
abused me, like fully abused me for not having anything to give him, and so called me a liar. And then I proceeded to like empty my pockets to show I just had a phone. And then he was just going, "Oh, what about in your back pocket?" I said, "I don't carry my wallet in my back pocket." He didn't believe that, but I've never been a guy that carries my wallet in my back pocket. I don't like it. Do you? You do. You're a back pocket wallet carrier.
Oh, I used to be, but I understand. Yeah, I totally get it.
It's not good for your back. If you sit down a lot, it causes an imbalance in your
My
pelvis.
wallet's not that thick or heavy now.
But when's the last time
Betting
you had?
tickets.
When's the last time you had change on
Oh,
you?
I don't like when I go to the shops. I just literally grab my phone and my car keys.
That's
That's it. Yeah. There's no. I don't
no
carry
real
cash.
money.
Yeah, no, they got to change their system. They got to have
But
like some
how?
kind of
They're not-
ATM
how
because
are
a lot
they-
of people have those.
They're homeless, Sean. How are they going to have an ATM?
There was one in Cottesloe that I saw. This is so clear.
That's
I was having a good chat to this guy. Having a good chat, and he
outside
was
the boat
he
shed.
looked as homeless as you get. Next thing you know, he pulls out his phone. He was charging it next door in the shoe shop. Brand new iPhone. No one else had. And see, he could have taken PayPass or whatever
Yeah.
else. He could have had the whole setup
Yeah.
on because he was set up, mate. He was ready to rock and roll.
Because
I mean, that's the difference you get in the western suburbs.
Yeah, because I do gingerly approach them now, remember, since that guy on the Rockaby Road was sitting there on the bench, and I went up and said, "Oh, here's some money, mate." And he goes, "I'm not homeless, I'm waiting for my wife." I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I ran away.
That's a great moment.
It's tricky. I mean, I guess what you could do is say, do
What
you
do you
want
say?
anything? And,
Oh,
and
I
go
always
and
ask
buy
that,
them
yeah.
a drink or
No,
whatever.
remember when I got stung that time that I did it at Coles in Inglewood? A guy was sitting outside and I said to him, "Oh, mate, I don't have any change of me." I did that. He goes, "But would you like anything inside?" And then he gave me a list of things, including a Maggie Beer burnt fig ice cream.
Well, to be fair, it's delicious.
And I was like, what? And he got better stuff than I got from the shops.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Just discussing with Nathan the colour of tumblers.
Sean wasn't included.
I walked out.
I just didn't know I'm going to buy it because I was said to Natalie as a singy when we're buying glasses and stuff, what's the number that she buys? And she's like me, between 6 and 8.
Yeah,
you have to.
You know, you've got to be hopeful.
Of picking up 7 friends. So basically, I might have a netball team round. Who knows, Nathan? You don't know. No, my outdoor table seats 8. So if I'm entertaining, there will usually be 8 people. And so I would need 8.
Yeah. So
I would get all the same colour.
I was just saying, should I get 2?
You're thinking about mixing it up.
And then 4 of a slightly different. Oh, Sean, I'll get your opinion.
No, okay, yeah.
So 4 of the white ones or 4
They're
of the
interesting
tall
shape, aren't
colour.
they?
Hey,
They look like things you insert somewhere sometimes.
That's more about you than anyone else.
Oh my God, never going to drink at your house. My ladle straight away.
Now Nathan's talking about ladles. He's really...
Well, I just said I didn't realise I'm looking on this like homeware shop for kitchen stuff, and it's a clean ladle rest. Keep clean ladle rest.
So only to put your clean ladle in, or
no? I don't know. Well, it's a dirty ladle rest.
Yes, that's right.
Because it's not going to keep your ladle clean. Because
No.
you're ladling.
That's right. So it's when you're ladling.
You're ladling.
Doing
I'm guessing it's
bowls of soup.
You're ladling, and then like you put your ladle down so it doesn't dirty your bench top. So that doesn't keep you. Keep clean ladle rest keeps your bench clean.
But then you've just dirtied the ladle rest.
Then now you got a dirty ladle rest. Anyway, $17 down from 20.
You've got to get it.
I've got to be honest, the more you say ladle, the more ridiculous it sounds. Ladling.
You do I ladle.
I mean, I would ladle if I was serving soup.
Yeah, but you ladle at home.
No, but I don't. I would only...
You ladle yourself.
I only use the ladle to serve the soup, not to stir the soup. You use a wooden spoon to stir the soup. Yeah. You don't stir with the ladle. You serve with the ladle.
You do serve with the ladle, but when you're serving yourself, you ladle yourself. Don't you? Is it bad to ladle yourself?
You can
of course it's not bad to ladle yourself.
You're single. You do what you need to do to get through the day.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.